and get this to work. My computer had all kinds of, well, not computer, my network had all kinds of issues. Let's see if I got the right one this time. Nope, I keep opening the wrong one because it's the same graphic. Stop. Okay, let's see. View channel. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if I got the right one now. And check my audio. Okay, let's see. View channel. Let's see. Okay, that sounds a lot better. Okay, cool. So let me know if I got a problem. Yep, so far so good. I changed networks. I reset my phone. I reset the main network. So hopefully this should all work. Hey, Charles. Thanks for joining us. So it all sounds good? If it does, hooray. All right, cool. So while you guys were gone, I just finished building this guy really quick out of spare parts I had sitting around. I gave him the Masterverse fist, so it's a big old metal one. Nice and loud. And this, of course, is the head from the original figure that I did a video on a long time ago on how to make your own heads. And I just had these pieces left over from when I did a custom Malcolm Fisto, so it was kind of fun having the leftover pieces and just kind of threw it together. But we're not here for that. We are here for how to fix a broken knee. And what the problem is this Rock-On figure right here, as cool as he is, people are reporting that they're bending the knee and it's snapping, and now of course they can't just, replace it because it has some unique qualities to it. Like right there you can see those special ridges and everything else. So you just can't grab somebody else's knee and stick it on there. You have to actually replace the pin inside. So I want to caution people. Some people are saying, hey, just use a metal rod and stick it in there. Don't do that. Don't use a metal rod and stick it in there. So let's take this figure, for instance. This figure is pretty cool. He's got very unique legs. I just couldn't take his legs and same with somebody else. Let's go ahead and break them. Oh, I hate doing this. Oh, here it goes. Let's see. Hebrew uses leftovers. Nice. Thanks. All right. So here we go. Oh, let's see if I can break this knee on purpose. It's so loose, it's going to be hard to break, but let's pretend like it did snap. Oh, it's not going to snap. Oh, let's try this leg here. Break, I tell you. Okay, his leg's not going to break either. Let's try these red legs. These are kind of unique too. Let's try to snap this one. There we go. I broke one. Yeah, it's broken now. So now I'm going to use this leg to fix it, but normally I would use something else. But just for kicks, we're going to take and pull out the joints from this foot and this arm just to see what the joints look like inside each one of the parts respectively, because I wonder if they're fully interchangeable. So let's go ahead and drop these on in there and pulls apart. And first thing we have to do is get this pin out of there. Now, again, don't drill a small hole and try to add a pin and everything else. That's just going to end up snapping and breaking this later on in the future, and you're going to have more of a problem. So don't be trying to fix it with a pin, a paper clip, or something else. It's going to cause you more problems later. Now, Mike Fee's already done this fix because I told him how one time over IM, and he was able to do it. Yeah, that was too easy. The funny thing is I couldn't break this one, but that other one just snapped so easily. That was crazy. And you can see that if this guy, bends his knee wrong, snap-o. Now, personally, if I was going to fix this, it is kind of reddish orange. You want a color that matches close. I'm guessing this is probably going to be a pretty close match, this orange. Maybe use a little bit of red marker on it to make it a little redder. But again, using this joint piece right here would probably be a great piece to use. And I do have a link in the description for this figure snout spout, and right now they're pretty inexpensive. I was surprised you could buy a deluxe snout spout for like 15 bucks with free shipping, maybe 17 with free shipping. So check out the link to get your parts, as opposed to buying a whole new Rock-On. Now, I did not order Rock-On because you guys know that every few months I go through a madness where I decide to get rid of a bunch of old figures. and he would end up on the chopping block. He's not even close to my top 11. Now, my kids were little. We had a bunch of these, and they would hide them all over the house as rocks all over the place. We had this guy and the other one too, and they would just. We also had some of the Thing figures too from Fantastic Four. 3 of my kids each had one, so we had 3 of those Thing figures too, and so we had a whole plethora of rock creature guys. It was kind of fun, but anyway. And besides that, as you guys know, I'm a classics guy, and I do have my classics rock figures, the 2 guys and the girl. All right, let's see if we can get that pin out of there. Do. All right, I'm going to use these small little screwdrivers here, and I'm going to use this flat-tipped one, and I'm going to see if I can wedge it underneath that pin and get it out of there. Just wedge it on the side, just like so, and then just pop it right out of there. And there is the pin taken right out of there. And now, let's see what else we got in here. So now we have to remove the rest of the pin. So to do this, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to work it on both sides. And you may have to break the small little piece right inside there that holds it in, because they usually hook it up together. So just take your screwdriver and just jam it on the side, but don't stab yourself, and actually cut through it. And some people use an X-Acto knife. You can do that too, or if you want, you can also use a sharp pair of scissors to get that off, because basically when they mold it in, they mold it in one piece. I got some scissors here. I'm just going to take this pair right here, just reach up inside there and snip that small little band that holds it in. And once you snip that band, you should be able to get it out pretty quickly, and then you have the spots to continue working. So let's go ahead and get that out of there. If I ever get out of here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, here it comes. You know what? I may not have snipped that all the way through. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I still got a little bit of snipping left to do. Whole lot of snipping going on. Let's go ahead and cut this off there. It's easier to snip once it's hot, so it is starting to cool down. So I may have to do a reheat on this before I finish. But let's see if I got it out of there enough. Yep, it's time to reheat. While we're waiting for that to reheat, let's go and pull a boot out. Give me a boot. Das Boot. Let's go and pull this off, and you can see right off the bat, it is not the same. It is actually a different, it is actually a different length than the one I cut off, so we can't use the boot piece. Let's take a look at an arm. Give me an arm, right arm on. Oh, this is the left arm. And let's pull that out of there. Let's take a look at the pin and compare it. Where did I drop that pin? Here it is. And it does look pretty close. I am thinking you could use an arm joint also to replace it. So let's go ahead and get this out of there. Let's see if we can get it out without causing too much damage. Keep knocking my camera around. All right, let's go ahead and pry. You know what? I'm thinking the ball joint on this is actually bigger than the knee joint, so I don't think it's going to work. But we will give it a shot and just see how it looks for sizing, just for fun. Because you never know if it works. And besides that, you can use the same technique to fix your elbows too, just as easily. Now, there is a little bit advanced technique I'll show you guys at the very end to finish this up. But let's go ahead and get this out of there first. Okay, I think I cut all the way through that. It has been circumcised. All right, and we're going to put it back in the hot water just to heat it up one more time. Let's pull out that leg joint and see if we can't get that final piece out of there. Now that I've heated it up completely, it should pop out no problem. There it is. And there is that final little leg piece. And now you would take a donor leg. Now I'm just going to use the leg next to it, but usually I'd find a different figure to do it. But in reality, I don't care about this figure. I really don't want to waste this guy. So we'll just pretend like it's a different figure, even though it's the same figure. And we're going to steal his same leg joint out of there. And while we're doing that, let's pull out the arm joint and compare the sizes. Dr. Todd. Yes, that is me. The doctor is in the house. Yes. Yes, my father was Frankenstein. You may know him. He made a monster. Ugh. You know what's funny is you watch movies like Toy Story and you see that kid Sid, and he made all those cool toys out of those other toys. And sometimes you watch that and Sid's supposed to be the bad guy for destroying toys, but it's like, you know, he made some pretty cool looking things out of those different figures with the spider baby and some other things. And I think Sid sometimes is given a bad rap. Okay, you can see here, those joints are completely different sizes. They are not interchangeable. So you would not be able to use the elbow joint for the knee joint. But now you know how to pull out the elbow joint if you ever need to fix one that snapped. So, all right, let's go ahead and keep going. It's funny, my grandson's right behind me watching Dr. Todd tear apart these poor figures. All right, let's cut this one out of there. Cut it out. Now, being this is a donor leg, we really don't care if it gets destroyed. My hot water is starting to cool down too. It does cool down pretty quick if you're dropping lots of parts in there. So I may have to go do a reheat in the middle of this. Now, Mike, is this the same way you did yours too? Go ahead and post in the comments and tell us how your experience went trying to do the same surgery when you did it originally. And I will check the comments and see what you put in there. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, I got the final snap on there. That should be able to come out now. Now, again, you want to be careful not to break this one because this is the donor piece we want to keep. Reheat. All right, let's take a look. Mike said, not all the origin parts are the same, I've learned. Yes, we have found, especially going between the wrestling guys to the regular figures, they are different as opposed to other figures as well. And I believe the female parts are not the same either. And there's also been changes depending on what wave you've gotten. Some of the newer waves have different parts just slightly, so you may get stuck having to do some alterations besides just pulling them out of there. Otherwise, you could end up with parts that are unusable and that you've wasted a figure for no particular good reason. And that could really stink. All right, let's get that out of there. All right, and there it is. There it is. And now we'll put it back into the broken leg right here. And we'll heat it up first. Now, there's two schools of thought on doing this. One way is after you put it together to put one little drop of super glue back in that part you cut, which works really good. But when you do that, you have to keep moving it back and forth. Otherwise, that super glue is going to freeze the joint too, and you're going to be back at ground zero. Another thing is just leave it. When it cools down, it will hold that rather well. You'd be surprised how well it holds it after the cool down happens, because you only cut one side, so it still has the whole other side on there. Yeah, my water is not hot enough anymore, I don't think. Let me try this one more time. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get some hotter water. Hotter water! I'll be right back with some hot water. And meanwhile, you guys can take a look at my cool Fisto while I go grab some more hot water. I'll be right back.
Can I do it?
Get the hot water for me? Well, we're not going to use it for the sink. I have to boil it. Come here, Zeke. walk in front of me. Thank you. All right, I got some hot water. It is ready to go. Sorry for the long delay, you guys. See, that's the thing about doing live video streams. Is the live video stream, it takes a little bit longer. Let's drop this in there. And let's see. Mike says, I fixed my Moss Man and fixed my Person's Fangor from the lounge. And his arm peg broke. It's as good as new now. Nice. Mike, you are getting better and better at doing stuff. You should see some of Mike's really cool customs he's done too. He is getting more amazing all the time with the things he does. Heat up, heat up. I think it might be hot enough. Let's go and pull it out and see. And let's see if we can put that little piece on there and fix this guy's knee. Mike, you could have made this video. Ugh. Come on, Zibeta. You can do it. Maybe it wasn't hot enough. I guess, yeah, I'll have to use a little bit more heat. Where did I learn it from? Thanks, man. I wonder how to put the knee joint together, or do you have to cut it to get the peg out? You have to cut just one side of it. Let me show you the one that I already cut here. Basically, you just cut one side in order to get it out. And you just use some sharp scissors while it's hot, and then you can get it out of there. And then once you have it hot, you can then bend it back in order to put it back in. But the trick is it has to be hot enough. And right now my water is at 217 degrees. So we'll see if that's hot enough. Usually I run it at 205, so it should be hot enough. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I gotta be quick. Kid quick. There we go. I got it in there. Closing the gap on it now. And make sure it has a nice movement to it. And it does. And when it cools, it's going to hold it in there nice and tight without the super glue, believe it or not. And then I would just take the thigh. It's still attached on here, as I didn't pull the leg off this one. And we will heat the thigh up. And once the thigh heats up, we will slide that leg back in there. And it will be good as new. Let's see, but how the heel did Mattel put it together? Oh, great question. The way Mattel puts together is they put the small little piece, like this right here, into the mold. And then they pour the hot plastic in, and the thing is then formed across the piece when it's being made in the mold. So they preload the mold with these, and then they shoot in the molten plastic, and it makes the pin go across. So that is how they make them ahead of time. So how cool is that? So that's why when you have these closed joints, it's really hardest to fix them, because they are literally molded that way. And here's the new piece. We'll slide it right in. And if I would have used a different figure for the donor figure, then we would have had 2 fixed legs. And there we go. There is his brand new joint. You won't even see the issue at all. And the core doesn't have to match perfectly, because you're not going to see most of it. This one does match perfectly because it is actually in there. Want to see my grandson's hand? Put your hand back up. See, he's trying to make sure everyone can see him in the video. Anyway.
I think it's not. I think it's hard.
It's still on.
Yeah, I think I was trying to do it, and the glue was on.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see. What does Chris say? Oh, yes. Yes, it is kind of stinky that Mattel does send out figures that snap so easy and break. But hopefully now you guys know how to do it. Share this video around with lots of people that have broken figures so they can see how to do it on their own as well. If you do it on your own, it's easier because you're not trying to do it in front of a camera, so it's pretty easy to build. So go ahead and share us around and help people out that have broken knees, broken elbows, broken ankles, or other parts. They all work the same way. They just need to get a donor figure. Don't use the metal pins. You'll destroy the part, because you saw that small little ring right here. If you ran a metal pin in here to try to hold it in place, it's going to end up just destroying it. So no metal pins to fix this. That's old and not the way to do it anymore. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching, and always drop the new figures in the hot bath. Yes, always drop the new figures in the hot bath. My grandson's over here laughing, putting his hand in front of the camera. Hey, thanks, Moto Prince. I appreciate it. All right, Chris, thanks for joining us. Master Far, thanks for being here. Mike, thanks for being here. Charles, as always, thanks for being here. Jeff, thanks for being here. My buddy Customs, thanks for being here. Unicron, thanks for being here. Anthony, thanks for being here. And Major Stret, thanks for being here. I have many of them. Nice. And that is it. Good journey, you guys. Say good journey. Right here in the microphone. Say good journey.
Good journey.
There you go. All right, you guys. See you next video. Bye now.
Did you know I was actually